Most of the things I don't really know what I'm doing. God, this is stupid. I am going to try to like chisel a little spot out of here, roughly about the size of the thing that I'm trying to make. Once I have this piece of aluminum in the shape that I want it to, then I can go through and just, you know, grind it, shave it down, you know, do whatever it is that I want to do in order to make it work. So yeah, I've never done this before. This is the inside of a paint gun. This thing rotates, which rotates this, and this one goes back and forth basically like this. See, it goes back and forth, right? And then this attaches to that, and when it goes back and forth, it pumps it up and down, and that's what creates the pump for these paint sprayer. So this piece of plastic is, we've broken like 4 of them, I think, so far, and they're just complete pieces of garbage, and you can't buy it without having to buy an entire pump kit. So I have a spare one of these because all of these are completely molded on the metal, so I'd have to actually tear apart the plastic in order to get to the metal. So I do have a spare, so I can kind of mold around that. And if I can put aluminum around that and just kind of sort of hope that the metal, the steel here with the new aluminum casting isn't going to generate too much heat going back and forth. I don't know if it will, but since these things break all the time, the risk is so minimal, it's, in my opinion, totally worth the risk. I'm going to put a couple pieces of this aluminum towards the bottom, and just like that. Woo! Just as a reminder, this was the piece I was trying to mimic. This is the first time I've ever actually manufactured something. I had to make the new piece because I broke the other one. I used that as a drill bit. I casted aluminum, drilled a hole, sanded it. It's not perfect. Put some grease on it, and now just put it in there, made sure everything moved right, and there you go. I have officially recreated, where'd that other piece go? I've officially recreated this thing, which this one is from a different one, so it's a skinnier little thing, but I've officially recreated it, reinforced it, solid metal, drilled all the holes exactly how they were in the other one, and now you just stick it in just like this, right? See if I can hold this and rotate it. Look at that. Look at that. So I'm doing silicone molding. I want to create some Yamaha badges, and I'm just testing it out. So that Y, this is all backwards. Once it goes on, it'll be like that. So I've been exploring a lot of different avenues lately, but one of which was something I saw on YouTube where people buy these little molds on Amazon. It's just skulls or whatever. And they take all of their old, spare, crapped plastics from 3D printing and they melt it into this. Which, by the way, this is not completely not dangerous because I found a way to splash yourself with plastic. This is a little toaster oven that I got, and for this specific mold, I wanted 3 colors, basically a titanium blue, black, and white. Pretty much. Let's open it up. Yeah, it's basically done. It's basically full, pretty much ready to go. To do this, I set this to about 425, and it's kind of like It can be an all-day project if you kind of sort of forget that you're doing it, or it could be maybe like a 5 or 6 hour project, because essentially you have to put plastic in there, wait for it to melt, put more in there, wait for it to melt, etc. Keep doing that until it's full. All 3 of these skulls, I have tried my hardest to get the white plastics to not turn brown. Lower temps doesn't seem to help that, and 450 degrees is pretty much the best way to get what I consider to be the best quality. For this last mold, I've decided to try something a little bit different, because I have a vacuum pump thingy for resin. Oh, by the way, I've been messing with resin and metal forging and welding. Okay, I've been on a lot of tangents. The vacuum thing sucks all the air. And all the other ones, they have all the skulls, they have like little pockets of air where it didn't get in all the way, right? So I'm thinking, now that this is nice, fresh, hot, and cooked and ready to go, I'm gonna go put it in the vacuum thing, and I'm gonna see if that is a terrible idea. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but we're gonna find out together. If I were to drop it on the carpet, I would have to get new carpet. It's pretty squishy. Okay, I can't do that. Nope, okay. So I'm just gonna have to send it. I need 2 arms to do this. I wanna get it on video just in case it screws up. So I'm going to hold the phone with my neck like this. So you're gonna get a neck view of this. Okay. Okay. All right, there we go. Wow, that was hot. It was really hot. Wow. Damn. Now that I think about it, I could have used the... Okay, but anyways, there we go. There we go. Now we're getting some action. This might be a terrible idea. Actually, I should put glasses on. What are you gonna do? That doesn't look good. That is a huge bubble. Oh gosh, that looks terrible. Oh, that is not good. Oh, it's just exploding. Oh, it's fuming. Oh, I can smell it. Is this gonna explode? I don't know. It kind of looks like it is. Okay, okay. I gotta stop it. Oh, sorry, I panicked. I couldn't do it. All right. That is a complete disaster. 100% complete disaster. This is officially a terrible idea. It'll be okay. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so the next thing, this is what I've been doing actually with the resin and the printing. So I had a guy at work. He asked me, he's restoring a 1972 Yamaha motorcycle, and he needed a badge. So he's like, hey, 3D print it. I ended up printing something like this, black and white, and then white and black. But this is an extra leftover one. But the original one was actually like this. It was like a pressed plastic that was reversed. So it went onto the bike like that. And then the letters on the inside, it was like chrome painted on the inside, and then the outside was black, and it went on the gas tank like that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna print the negative, right? And then I'm gonna do a silicone mold, which I did. I think this is the best one that I had. So I made a silicone mold, which is that right there. Did that with that. It got all the imperfections of the thing, so I probably should have sanded that down and made that a little bit better. Didn't think ahead. So I poured that. This was the end result. And then when I got that, I was like, all right, cool, bet. I'm gonna make this like clear and whatever. I made it thicker than what it's supposed to be. That way I can sand it down. And then, well, I kind of just left off on not being able to get a glass finish because I don't have the proper tools. I can sand it, but I can't make it shiny because when it came out, it was like that, right? This has bubbles, this is leftover, but it came out really clear. This did not. I had all the way sanded down to 2000 grit. Then all I had was like a Dremel buffer thingy, and that just was not the right tool. So I don't have a buffing agent or anything, so I can't make that clear. So I kind of never, I haven't finished that yet. So that's the resin stuff. And that's why I broke this out originally, because I wanted to get the clearest possible resin pour, which actually came out pretty good. There's no bubbles. This thing was perfect until I sanded it. Okay, so I left off doing some somewhat weird, questionable forging stuff with metals and all that kinds of thing. I've actually, since then, I don't remember if I had this, but I've made a bunch of ingots. No idea what to do with them. But nonetheless, I have a bunch of aluminum ingots, and one of these days I will figure out what I want to do with them. But I also decided to try welding again. The last time I welded was 20 million years ago in high school, so I'm gonna try this again. Now I say I'm gonna try this again because I've already technically tried. This is the random piece of metal, the first time I ever tried welding again since high school, and that was the result. So I've since then got a big old piece of metal that I want to use as kind of like a welding metal platform. I got a bunch of random spare metal pieces, and I kind of want to just play around to see if I can actually weld something more than just dragging a thing across it to see what it's like. So that's what I'm gonna try. Because, you know, this is the squirrel part of Jason, and this is what I do. I'm like, is this interesting? I have no idea. Can I start a fire? Yes. Also, I know I was talking about some of these like skulls that I was making. This is the latest one, came out pretty bad. Some of these aren't as bad as the others, but what I wanna do is run these over that belt sander that I have, see if I can level them out and just make them a little bit better. They're not great, there's absolutely no purpose to them, but I'm going to do them anyways. That's a side quest. 3 seconds to talk about welding. First of all, I need all these cables. Can I find the ones? I bought a ton of different adapters. I made my own. I think I have what I need to get the welder. I'll explain that later, but holy crap, that's just a big cluster. For now, because I want to use a big metal platform, that thing right there, I want to use that as a welding platform, but this was in the ground. It's rusty, so I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to grind it just to get a nice, like, conductive piece of metal to hook up my ground, because with welders you need a good ground. So I'm going to start with that. I mean, this is pretty aggressive. A little bit too aggressive. Huh. There's obviously, I mean, it's rusted, so there's divots. I've grinded it, I've cleared it. Side note, do you ever get like, I don't know, 2 hours, hour into a project, and then you realize that you're doing something that's very questionable? Let me show you exactly what I mean, because I am inside of my garage flinging sparks in a direction that I probably should not be flinging sparks. I may have taken a brief moment to try to sand this down, which I actually did pretty well. I'm gonna have to finish it off with a little bit less aggressive belt sanding, but belt sanding was really nice because it flattened out a lot, so. Okay, so this is the welder that I got. Now, I read a bunch of reviews. Everyone said that this is like pretty powerful for the price. I didn't need anything super big because I have no idea what I'm doing. So the reason why I like that is because it has an adapter that allows it to work on 120, or you can hook it up to 220, 240, whatever. My original tests were all on 110, 120, and it functioned. So I don't actually have a 220 ran to my garage yet, like a legitimate good 220, 240, whatever ran to my garage yet. But I do have a dryer outlet that's right through that door. And I do have a very large RV cable, so hypothetically speaking, I could have plugged everything in there. Of course, the 50 amp RV cable does not work with, there's like 15 different 220 outlets. So I bought all the outlets. I have this plan where I'm gonna make this master box that just does all the conversions with multiple inputs, etc. But for now, I made a standalone adapter using one of those things because I have like 2 or 3 adapters and I'm just tired of buying adapters. So this end of the RV cable should plug into that right there. And this, wait a minute. Did I get that wrong? Oh geez, I hope I didn't get that wrong. So that should plug into the dryer outlet. I'm pretty sure it does. Maybe. Not only do I know if this won't start a fire, but I also don't know if it's gonna fit. So let's just gonna figure this out. That's a good sign. Now, assuming I wired this correctly, which, okay, that's good. Assuming it's wired that's correctly, then I should be able to take my 50 amp RV cable and plug that directly in. So far, so good. That should be good. This should be, where's that? There we go. Where's the adapter actually? This is the adapter. This takes the 220 inputs to 110. So this is the 220. And oh wait, no. Wait. Yeah. Okay, I planned for this. Hell yeah, I am so smart. I forgot that I did this. Yet another adapter plugged into there. Then I can plug that in. Nothing has sparked yet. Turn it on. All right, cool. This has held on pretty good. Here's the idea. Weld these together. Why am I doing this with one hand just to get it on camera? There we go. I really want to point my camera at the weld, but I don't really want to risk ruining the sensor. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm just gonna play that safe because I don't want to ruin my phone. That was the weld to just hold it together. Then I'm gonna try to do like a solid weld all the way over. Try number 3. I need a better welding table, but I flipped it over and let's see if I can do better. So I apparently have a really big issue with seeing where I'm going. Like, it's so dark, I can't see it. Not really sure if you're supposed to weld only on one side or if 2 sides is kind of the thing or not, but there's the second attempt as far as just running the welder. There was a 3rd attempt. I made 2 passes because the first one I wasn't even on the line. Well, I think it's safe to say that I am not a natural welder. I tried to grind like one of the half decent welds, and I mean, I guess that looks okay. Yeah, I tried to get a thinner piece of metal to a thicker piece of metal. That didn't work out very well, as you can see. And then I started playing around with temperature a little bit. So like that J, it's supposed to be a J. I changed the temperature up and down, and yeah, you know, I'm learning, but just based off of what I see right there, I am not a welder.